The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
You do it.
All right.
I said do it, not gay.
You want me to try my actual best?
Yeah, try your best.
All right.
Nice crack.
Not bad.
I like that, yeah.
Little,
Nice
little
crackle.
vocal fry on there. How's it going, Todd Newman?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to be back. We just got back from tour yesterday.
Bro, there's a few scratches on this that weren't.
I don't think that's true.
you
Yeah,
wanna
so
tell that
let's talk about
story.
that. So we're recording this. What day is today? Tuesday? I think this is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
This
Correct.
episode comes out in 2 days, so we're frantically trying to record and get this out. And I brought like a Pelican
Case.
case. I'm tired. On the road with all of our recording gear, so we could do some shows on the road. And JetBlue lost it, and I'm pretty jazzed about it. Very frustrating.
You're missing the important part of the story.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay. So, trying to figure out how to do the show today. Remember last night that Todd has the same gear at his house. So you, sir, saved the day. Went over, grabbed it, borrowed today. I wish I had an applause thing on here. I don't know where it is on here anymore.
Yeah.
Is it on there?
There is. Mine aren't set like
No.
So I don't know.
Well, just imagine an applause button. That should.
For losing it.
That's fine.
For JetBlue.
That's for
losing it,
JetBlue.
yeah.
But thank you for saving the day. I think we're up and running. If this doesn't work, then fuck it. We'll blame
But
JetBlue.
at least JetBlue just loses personal items, not like wheels and doors and shit like that.
Like
on the
Boeing
plane.
does?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Boeing whistleblower? So Boeing is in a court case.
Say that 10 times fast.
Boeing whistleblower? No chance. No fucking chance. Boeing is currently in court. Some guy came forward and talked about like their standards of building planes is not very good. Like a whistleblower from
it's
Boeing.
obviously not very good, right? Like doors fly off, wheels fall off in the middle of takeoffs.
So
They drift into ponds
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
So this guy's in the middle of doing depositions and providing evidence.
Right.
Was found dead of suicide in his car yesterday.
So do you think it was suicide or you think that they knocked
I don't
him
know.
off?
I mean, I got into a little Twitter argument last night with people because everyone's like, he was murdered by Boeing. Well, maybe, because someone said like he was with the company for 32 years and retired in 2017.
Right.
And someone's like, no one commits suicide after retiring. I'm like, well, people do all the time.
Yeah, people kill themselves for a plethora of reasons, but
at all stages of life.
I will say this, when someone kills themselves after they've just decided to take a stand,
Right.
that's a little weird. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of
like
course.
That's a little, why wouldn't you just kill yourself?
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to go to all the steps of like, I'm going to blow the whistle on this and go to court, and if they can't get away with this, you know what? I'm not happy.
Right. I mean,
Doesn't add up to me.
you could kill yourself because of like the weight of being in court, or it freaks you out, or life stuff's going on. Maybe you kill yourself because of that, but it is a little
Small
weird.
dick.
Small dick. Although
like that.
You think you would figure that out not in your 70s. You should know by the time you're 65 or 70.
No, because you live with it through your life. It's small, and then all of a sudden it's small, sagged, and wrinkled.
And you've had this career to
And
distract
gray.
you from your tiny dick for all these years.
Once you retire, that's when
You're
you
like,
realize,
oh shit, It's
my
so
dick
small.
is tiny.
Fuck. But it's weird. It's weird. Like in his car, I don't know if it's outside of the courtroom, but like, and yeah, it just dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his car.
An easy way.
Interesting, huh?
Easy way to fake.
Yeah. If Heidi was here, she'd have I'm sure, some crazy theory on the matter.
Some right-wing bullshit.
It's the vax. The vax made him do it. Who knows? But yeah, we're back from tour. Quickly, I want to thank Kim Sube on our Patreon for upping her tier. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. If you guys want to support the show, go to patreon.com/rareformradio and pick a tier that works for you. I have a gift for you.
You do.
I have a gift for you. I've said for many, many years that you are a very thoughtful gift giver. And you're a very generous person. So I hadn't. That's fine. I just pretend.
that
Everyone could pretend Todd's a big prick.
I want
but
that
he's-
public.
Yeah. Rob, can you turn that lamp on? The little silver lamp.
I've worked hard to make people think I'm an asshole.
I know, and I don't mean to blow the whole thing, but you're actually a very generous.
You're the whistleblower. You're gonna if you
I'll whistleblow you.
If you find Dan dead in his car tomorrow, don't come knocking on my door.
I had an idea for something for you, and I was very excited about it. And I went through the effort to get something for you, to have it like displayed properly, and I'm excited about it. But then, like, I realized it might be something you already have. I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out. And I want you to be completely honest.
Okay, I'll tell you if I have
Because if you have it or it's too close to something you have, then I'll sell it for a lot of money somewhere.
Okay.
But I want you to have this.
Whoa.
This is a big thank you from
This is
me.
like an actual gift.
A real gift. I mean, truly, thought went into it. What?
This makes me feel terrible about what we talked about.
No shit.
Personal. As
Yeah.
a personal note.
Not for the air.
So you want me to open
Yeah,
this?
yeah. You can just rip it. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I want to
Yeah, you want to? I'll build it.
Preserve
Build
it.
the
preserve it also so I can
regift it.
re-gift it. Hey, Luca, look what I got for you.
Oh, he'll like it too. You might have it or be very close to having something, but I had to get it for you, and it's something we share.
Oh, I already can tell what it is.
Yeah, of course you can.
That, dude. All right, wait.
So, if people listening, explain what you got there.
All right, let's hold it up.
Yeah.
President is slain. The Bethlehem Globe Times. Now, I do have, not this one, I do have some newspaper articles.
This is about Kennedy's assassination, the
Kennedy
day he
is-
was killed.
The day he was killed, Kennedy assassination. I've gifted these myself to other people who share the same interest.
Yes.
And yeah, this is fucking amazing with a great frame and everything. Is this why you were asking me about frame stuff?
Yes. Well,
You fucker.
for myself, but because I got one as well, but I wanted to give one to you as well. So I
Right.
wanted to know. So I very slyly, I'm like, I don't know much about framing. Like, what would you do for something like this, like
Right,
an old
right.
like newspaper or something? But I said it was about the Red Sox,
Yes, you did.
which I did get done as well. But that's exactly to your specs.
First lady smash hit.
Oh shit.
See that?
Yep.
Yeah. So I do. I collect stuff like this.
Okay.
I have a nice Kennedy collection. This is going to be a valued, treasured edition that's going to go up in my office.
You will keep it.
tonight. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep this.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
I
so
love you,
much.
buddy.
This is amazing.
Good.
One of the better gifts I've ever gotten.
Come on.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it was done by the Framing Devil. His stickers on the back.
Like, I get good gifts, like from my wife. She bought me a nice watch, fucking this, that. But like, I work for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This was just out of the kindness of your heart.
Well, you work for it too. You put up with all my shit.
Yeah, but rarely do I get a gift just because someone was thinking of me. I'm very touched.
Oh,
this
good.
is fucking amazing.
Thanks, buddy. Good.
And
well,
the
thank you
funny
for everything.
thing-
Like you're like I said, you're a very generous person. You bring random gifts. You're thoughtful. You're a good friend. You've helped me in more ways than you
buddy.
know.
Make me cry.
Yeah, but I thought you'd appreciate that.
I don't want to put it in a place.
Here, give it over here. Hold it over here. That's good. Yeah. But check out the Framing Devil on Instagram. He's the guy that he did this Texas Chainsaw frame.
Oh, very cool.
Have you ever gone to him?
No.
He does my favorite shit. All kinds of cool
No,
custom
I have
shit.
a guy that's right by my house that
Nice.
does all my stuff. And I want to see if I still have it in here, but I think I dumped it out. But hang on one second.
I'm happy you like it.
Oh my, not getting. Okay.
You're gay? What?
No, it's not coming up right now. Like, but I had not this exact one, but I had a newspaper in my cart
Oh no
on
shit.
eBay. Yeah, that I was like contemplating getting. That was like a few $100.
I'm gonna show you the one that I got. It was my favorite one. Hold on.
All right. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good.
Did you get me anything or?
I just no. He was supposed to put my name on that, but
Dan, this is from both of you? Okay, cool.
Goddamn right.
No, that's fucking. I love that. That's awesome. It's gonna go
That's
right
great.
up in my office. Let's see yours, Dan.
I'll show you. Same shit, but I prefer the wording on this one.
Did we lose that?
Yeah,
still
but
going.
yeah, it's still. I just love the wording.
Yeah, and the picture is great. Both of them.
President is killed by sniper in Texas.
Yeah.
It's just so much more. That's like just menacing.
Where is that from? I always go like where it's from is always a good.
This
thing
one is
too.
from D.C. Oh wait, no, is this? Wait,
Yeah,
this might be-
Washington D.C. Yeah.
It is, right?
Evening
Okay.
Star. Yes.
Okay, I thought this was the Dallas one, but I mean they're all great. I
Where
just
do you
didn't
find
realize-
these?
on eBay. There's so much on eBay.
There's eBay. There's other collectors, or if you just start searching and like you'll find people that have sites that are just dedicated to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I found like an original Jackie Onassis hat pin, like weird.
That
shit.
was from her.
Not that day, but
Oh, she wore it.
Yeah, she like shit like that. Like there's people who collect all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But and there's a few. I'm trying to get some of the brain matter. It's in some archives somewhere.
It's in a jelly jar somewhere. What would you pay if there was
Like some guy snuck it out and he was like,
something? It's a small little didn't
Like a vial.
Coke used to come in little
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
If there's one of those, it's a piece of his brain.
right,
What is like truly your max amount for a piece of JFK's brain?
50 grand.
For real?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So if you were offered it, you'd come up with it somehow.
Yeah, I would come up with it somehow. And the reason why is
I
because
did not expect 50 grand.
stuff like that only goes up in value.
That's true.
Brains only go up.
Brains only go up. And they go out to the back and all over the seat. Brains go everywhere, really, if you think about it.
Man.
Too soon? Sorry, it was only, 52
yeah.
years ago? 51 years ago? But man, it's good to be back.
Let
What
me
have you been-
hold up
yeah.
yours again for a second. The best part of yours
Is Jackie?
the fact that it's not just her crawling out, but that they put a humongous fat black arrow pointing to show.
Do you know what the arrow represents? Widow.
Yeah.
Here is the widow.
Free pass from now on.
And this guy running back here, he's not trying to help. He's trying to fuck her to console her for the loss
he
of her
sees
husband.
his opening.
Yeah. You look lonely. You look lonely. Let me come for you.
Here's a shoulder to cry on.
As long as I can come in your mouth. Anyway, rest in peace, JFK.
There's a big controversy about that picture and that scene because the media.
I mean, you know your shit.
Yeah, well, the
when it
media
comes to
always
JFK.
depicts it as she's crawling out to get help, to help the Secret Service agent in. And
That's how I always read it.
no, yeah, because you read it like a normal fucking person who would have a normal reaction that she's getting the fuck out of the car.
Yeah.
Her husband's head literally just exploded
Yeah.
in her lap.
Yeah.
Right? So she's jumping out to get the fuck out. But it was a big controversy back then because all these famous magazines and famous newspapers depicted it as the media does, as how brave and valiant she is because she's trying to help the security into the car to protect the president.
See, I had also heard that, I'm making a joke, that she was going back to grab parts of his head. Like she wasn't thinking and trying to like.
It looks like that in the footage.
Yeah.
In the Zapruder film. It does look like that, which is another thing. I have 3 Zapruder cameras.
Why 3? Just
Because one works, one doesn't. One has a handle that he shot with, one doesn't have a handle. So
that's an
over the
attachment?
years-
It's like
an
an
attachment that
accessory.
you screw on that he was, I think, using at the time. And then I just like every time I see him, I'm like, I'm grabbing these up because they look cool all in a row.
yeah. Can you fucking believe that was captured on video?
Yeah. That
It's
was
one of those
something
things-
that
it just
they
dawned
were.
on me. Like,
That was
can't
something they
believe-
were not planning on.
no.
Like it was a different time that we lived in there.
And it wasn't a news camera. It was just a guy when like video cameras were not that accessible. People just didn't just
No,
have
with that
them.
camera, it's a Bell and Howell camera, and what you have to do is you wind it and then let it run. So it only takes a certain amount of footage before the winder goes out. So you hear it making. That's why I wanted to get. Once I got one, that was. It's like. And then it stops.
How long does it film for?
I don't know exactly. A couple of minutes.
And like just how perfect the shot is. It's I mean the camera shot.
Yeah,
the gunshot's pretty good too.
The gunshot's pretty good too.
But it's just astounding that first of all happened, that it was captured in such good quality. I need to rewatch JFK again.
I often refer to
years.
back then, like, remember when we used to just get rid of people?
Yeah.
That weren't. I mean, usually it's people who were for the good, but we used to be a country that used to just eliminate people. It doesn't seem like that happens that much.
I can't happen much anymore unless you're a Boeing whistleblower and they find a way.
Exactly.
I am desperately trying to find the Roswell Daily Record from the original
I've looked
Roswell
for
crash.
it for you because our mutual friend has asked me to look for it for you guys.
You're desperately trying to find it, but it's such a small town paper. I don't think I'm going to find it.
I also, you've seen it. I have the Klein's catalog, not the actual one.
Yeah.
But there's a catalog that Lee Harvey Oswald he did. This part is proven of the rifle that he owned. That apparently the one that they hold up in the book depository, he ordered it from a mail-in catalog called Klein's Catalog. It was like a sporting goods store.
Yeah.
And I found like a pristine original version from that year, from the one with the model he bought and everything.
So cool.
Which was hard. That took me like 5-6 years to find one in perfect condition.
Did you get it from another collector or just someone randomly had it posted? Do you remember where it came from?
I do remember where it came from. Someone had it posted and they knew what it was, but I don't think they knew how much it meant. You know what I mean? When you know this probably from, because you collect stuff.
Yeah.
When you're looking for something, you could tell by the description. Like, I'll be looking at something online. I'll be like,
This motherfucker has
this
no idea.
motherfucker has no idea what he's selling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And you could tell just by how they're describing it.
Yes.
So this person, it seemed like someone told him, hey, you should sell that because that's and you know what I mean? And I jumped on it right away and
Nice. How long did you look?
like almost 6 years.
Holy fucking shit.
I've seen them before, but like pages missing, rips, coffee stains. This one's like a.
Yep.
It was sitting out when you came over today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have the model of the car as well? The JFK limo?
Yeah.
Or does Dave have that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause it's such a wild.
He bought it
story.
He bought it. Like he bought himself one. He bought me one.
Very thoughtful. I like that. I mean, with the bats there's some bats that like have taken me 8, 9, 10 years to track down.
There's stuff I'm still trying to track down that I haven't gotten a line on.
And once you get it, you don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
It's such a sickness.
the
Collecting is a sickness.
It's just like addiction. It's the chase. It's the scoring. That's the fucking awesome part. Because I've bought stuff. And like while I was waiting for it in the mail, it was already over. Like the thrill of opening
it's coming
it.
my way. So what's next now?
Yeah. Like the thrill of opening it isn't even. So I've learned over the years to kind of curtail certain things. Like certain items that I'm like, I would have jumped on 10 years ago. I'm just like, do I really? It's going to be one of those. I'm going to open it. It's going to sit there. I'm not going to fucking care.
I started to slow down with bats and stuff for that exact same reason.
Especially like depending upon what you're paying for it too. If it's something that's cheap, fucking
Of course.
get it.
But I'm more like, do I need this or do I want this?
Yeah.
Like, can I live without it?
Well, you don't
usually
need
know.
any of it.
Some of it you need. I mean, let's be real. How many watches? You need more than one watch.
Well, if you want to tell time. You want to know what time it is.
Of
you need
course.
a fucking good watch.
Of course. What have you been up to lately? Well, we were gallivanting across America.
I was sick for like fucking 2 weeks. Now my son has it. It's like some whatever virus is going around, whatever. So that kind of sucked. But I just been working.
Okay.
Writing, working on a couple of different
You are
projects.
fully back in the swing of the writing world.
Yeah.
Making some progress, doing some cool shit.
Yeah, there's cool stuff. Yeah, you've been privy to some of the stuff that we're working on, and hopefully that's good.
Are you getting joy out of it?
Yeah,
Good.
I am. I am. Like, so a lot of times I don't. Like, it's just a fucking grind or whatever. But this stuff that I'm working on is exciting. So.
I came over to your house today to grab this stuff, and you were in the middle of a work call, and you sounded so stressed and almost angry. And I'm like, that doesn't look very fun, but that's what it has to take. Huh?
That part is kind of fun.
You like
Yeah. The stress and anger.
perfect.
It's when it's going smoothly that I'm like, this is boring. I don't like it.
I like smooth.
It's like when it's smooth and I'm making money and getting paid, and I don't like it.
So speaking of going smooth, how long were we gone? The whole tour was 5 weeks, 4 weeks?
Whole tour was about 4 weeks.
Okay. So I was doing guitar tech and bass tech. And you've been to 50, 100 shows with me.
Yeah.
And like tuning guitars, handing them off to the guys, changing strings. Mm-hmm. You'll love this. 4-week tour, working for Peter DiStefano and Mike Watt, who was playing bass. Mm-hmm. I didn't change one set of strings. So Peter, I got him this Charvel guitar that he fell in love with, named it the Sugar Daddy. It goes everywhere. I mean, it goes literally everywhere that he goes. I didn't touch that guitar. Didn't lay a finger on it the entire tour.
So you got paid to do nothing.
Yes. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
I never changed a bass string or a guitar string. He likes to change his own guitar strings. Right. Peter does. It's like a Zen moment for him. I had a backup guitar he never used. I've never in my life gone a whole tour and not touched the main guitar player's instrument.
Unlike some other people we know.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Who literally does not know how to change a string.
I made the comment the other day that if I gave Navarro 2 weeks to set up his own rig to make sound, I don't think he'd be able to do it. 2 full weeks of 8 to 10 hour days. I don't think he'd be able to figure it out.
So funny.
I asked him once, when's the last time you changed your own strings? He goes,
high school.
He's probably 40 years ago.
Yeah. Because one time we were playing with Luke, and Luca broke a string or whatever, and I was like, ask Uncle Dave to do it. And he's like, don't ask me to fucking do it.
It's so self-explanatory too, but I just, it's so funny.
Even I know how to do it.
Of course you do. You're a bit of a man. You can figure it out. Well, unlike some people, Dave, you had a fun experience on the tour. You met someone really cool at a 7-Eleven. Will you tell that story?
Sure. So we're in Chicago, and I was walking down the sidewalk, and this lady stopped me and asked if I could help her get some milk. She had a couple $1 bills.
Did she throw bleach on you wearing a MAGA hat?
No.
In Chicago?
No.
This fucking guy. Say it again.
Milk.
MELK. I can't do it with these people.
Milk.
I hate it.
Milk.
Why do you do that?
Like Petch. Pretty cool.
That sounds pretty good. Pitch. That sounds pretty good. But you say silk.
Silk.
Now.
Selk.
Can't take it. Anyway, finish your stupid story.
Melk.
Do you say pillow?
No, I'm not an animal.
How do you say pillow?
Pillow.
Then why do you say milk? It's the same.
Just to piss
How do you say ROOF?
Roof? No, I would say roof.
Yeah, roof.
Okay.
When you spell it out like that,
Because people say roof, and I'm like, what are you, a fucking dog?
Yeah, come on, please.
Rough.
No.
How do you say...
How you say...
This is the rest of the episode.
Yeah, this color. Well, this isn't really a fair representation. That color, the border up there.
Orange?
Oh, orange. It's orange.
No, I say orange.
You say orange? And you say orange.
Orange.
There's a fight in my house every time that there's an orange on the table.
Who says it the worst in your house?
Well, my daughter kind of says it more like me, but the rest of them say...
They say orange?
Yeah.
Orange.
Oh,
this conversation is really bothering me. Okay, so...
All right, so finish your story.
Yeah, please.
So this lady asked me to buy her milk. She had a couple $, but for some reason she wanted milk.
Thank you.
For some reason she wanted me to do it on my card. And I was like, all right, whatever. Come in 7-Eleven with me. She goes, I'm just really thirsty. See?
Oh, man.
I'm like, okay.
Hot homeless
But
breath.
how does that imply thirst?
So we go in there. She picks it out. We're walking to the counter. She tries to ask me to take money out to give her more money. I was like, not doing that.
Right.
I pay for it. And at the counter, she yells out loud. She goes, all right, you got me milk. Now I'm going to milk you. I go, no, you're not. I'm good.
Right.
and I fucked off. I think that was the whole story.
She offered you a homeless Chicago suck job, which is pretty decent.
Multiple times she made jokes about taking care of me.
If you were single, would you ever?
No.
Never?
I don't think you have an idea of what this lady looked like.
We describe her?
Not for a milk drinker. Maybe a vodka drinker.
Maybe.
Crack smoker, maybe.
Describe her as best you can. Does she look like anybody famous? You can say it.
No, I can't.
You say it. Who?
I didn't see her.
But you know what he was going to say.
I worry he was going to say Michelle Obama, but I don't know what you're going to say.
No, I wasn't going to say. No. She was white. She was like,
okay, bad of me to assume. Let's delete that part.
A little heavier set.
She had
meth mouth. Mid 40s.
Oh God, how heavy? How heavy do you think? 250?
$180.
Oh,
not like
too
huge,
bad.
but I mean, she's a little old.
Take her for a roll. Okay. Man, see,
no matter how single
there's no chance.
No.
Brutal.
I don't understand though. She had money, so she needed more money, or
I think she wanted me to take money out and give her more. I didn't take her money. I was like, whatever, just take this.
Yeah.
$2.
I probably would have done that too, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the angle was here.
Do you think she? Do you think she just wanted to blow you? I mean, can you blame her?
Probably.
Gross, man. That's fucking vile.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. That was my good deed of the whole tour, and I learned my lesson.
Pretty. And he didn't even have to change his string.
No, not too bad. It was a pretty smooth tour, I gotta say.
Or maybe he would have had to change his string, different kind of string.
Ew, dude, too soon. That's so gross. What do homeless women do when they have their period? Just bleed everywhere?
Yeah.
Do you think they get tampons? If you're homeless and listening to this podcast, please call in somehow.
Yeah, or if anyone knows.
I'm very curious. Or like, is that something they can get? They probably get them at shelters.
They got to go to like shelters, and there's got to be places that take care of them for that.
Or in California, you just go to any store and just take it. No one's going to stop you.
True.
So that's one cool thing. Gross. I can't. I don't like that one bit. Todd, I don't know if you know this about me, but I do really dumb things just for very low amounts of money.
Yeah, I do know that about you.
I did another one. I did a really dumb one.
What? What'd you lick this time?
I didn't lick anything, but I ate a lot of something.
Cum?
No, I probably would have preferred that. I ate an entire bag of birthday cake Oreos for $100. I was given 13 minutes, and I did it in 9 minutes. And it was so disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite Oreo. And I didn't eat them for 3 or 4 days after that? We were having them. We were eating them every single day.
That was the hardest you worked all tour.
I know. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It was tough. But $100 I think was worth it.
Yeah.
Do you ever eat stuff as a challenge? Do you ever
Yeah, I did. Years ago, I was on the set of Married with Children, and Christina Applegate dared me to eat
her pussy for $100?
A full, like a big square of butter, just raw butter, just a square, and eat it and swallow it for like $50. Something.
Which back then is plus $100, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And back then it's probably even more.
Maybe.
I'm old.
Yep.
So, and that show is old.
Let's start 87.
No, it was later than that.
It was?
like
Okay.
93 or
That's when the show started?
No, this was
Okay.
Towards the end of the show.
When did it
Anyway,
start? That's
I
what I
don't
was
remember.
Okay. Sorry.
So I ate it, and I was like, okay, no problem. For the next like 5 days, I felt like I was gonna vomit for 5 days straight. I had this weird sensation and taste in my mouth that like wasn't butter taste, but it was this weird like post-traumatic stress of something that is not supposed to be swallowed that way. Like it fucked me up. Like I still, whenever I'm like see like a little pad of butter, I'm still a little like,
It brings you back.
yeah, it fucked me up. But I did it.
When I was a kid, I used to eat full sticks of butter because I thought it was cheese.
Right. Well, that's just because you're an idiot.
I'm not smart. And my sister would eat full onions because she thought they were apples. Like we were a dumb house.
Yeah, really.
Dumb house. explains a lot, I think. I don't know, like, why my mom didn't tell me for like a year that butter wasn't cheese, but she didn't tell me. I think she got a kick out of
Why'd
it.
you keep eating it?
I thought it was cheese, and people like cheese, and I liked that. Maybe I'd like butter.
All right.
I don't know. Could you eat a stick of butter? A full stick?
It's really hard, man.
It sounds
it's harder.
easy, but after
that's the
listening to
thing.
that-
It sounds easy,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, no problem.
That's what I felt about the Oreos.
yeah.
I'm like, I love these things. I can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it was like, it was a lot of
But
Oreo.
I have eaten like a package of cookies within a short period of time.
Oh,
I pay the price, but like,
there is a little. I did just finish dinner. It was like right after eating after show dinner. So it was a lot.
I was wondering why your neck looks a little thick tonight. All right, let's address something else.
Okay,
on
let's
a
move
different- on a different subject. So this
I
is
do feel fatter, but thank you. Thank you.
This is you don't look fat. This is a new setup you have here.
Yeah. It's the
This is
first time you've been here
my
in the
first
couple
time.
months.
Yeah, the first time I've been here in the new setup.
Yeah.
It's weird looking you straight in the eye.
Is it better?
I don't know yet.
We're just not used to it.
I'm just not used to it.
It's more conversation. It's like being at like
It's
a
definitely
like a
more
coffee date.
conversational, but like usually you and I, for even during Dark Matter, are to the side somehow of each
Oh
other.
yeah, you're right.
This is the first time we've ever, other than having a coffee,
Right.
this
Right.
is the first time. And when we're having coffee, you can,
Of
we're
course.
kind of almost forced to be here.
Right.
There's no getting out of it.
I like it more.
You do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
don't know yet. I don't know how I feel yet.
I feel more. I feel a little bit more engaged, and then like I don't get a sore neck from looking to my left all the time, right? Because I got a bitch ass neck.
But there is a weird difference, right? Did you feel that the first few times you did it? Or?
Maybe a little bit because everything looks different in here. Like there's a lot more space.
Well, that's also another thing that I notice is I haven't noticed any of this shit because I'm always sitting over there.
Yeah. Though
So,
this whole wall behind Heartthrob here is that's new.
Right.
That's all my set lists.
All right.
Check out that.
That's actually good because I was like, I can't believe I've never seen those in my life.
And the things behind you are moved. That was like this thing was there forever. Some things are moved around.
Yeah.
But it feels better to me.
It's definitely more intimate. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm liking intimate.
Okay. Do you want to move back
No.
out of the shot
I
somewhere?
like being fucking hidden and reserved.
Good.
No.
One thing I want to show off a little bit. That big set list right there, and then the one above the door.
Right.
Those are both from the first Misfits show back with Danzig.
Right.
The first one at Riot Fest in 2017, 18, 16. But I'm a massive Misfits fan.
Yeah.
I got to be there, and my buddy was a stage manager, and I said, please get me Doyle and Danzig set lists. So I think the one above the door is Danzig's first Misfits set list.
Right.
And then the big one, I think, is the
Do you
Guitar
know
Player
what
Doyle.
the significance of the red is?
I don't. Maybe it might be tunings.
Right.
I don't know, because then I didn't even notice them. But that's actually written on the back of a Misfits poster. So if you were to flip that over, it's like a Misfits poster.
You know, you can get that double-sided framed.
I thought about it, but that's just a cheapy frame. So you can flip it and see the back.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Can you buy those from Amazon? Is that a special? You have to
I
have
think
that
you
done.
can. I
That'd be
mean, I would
smart.
just have it done since it means that much to you. But
Yeah. Fuck it. And then it's either a Navarro or a Taylor handwritten set
it's a
list.
Taylor handwritten.
That's Taylor?
Yeah.
You sure? Uh-huh. Okay, that's what I thought. Then Dave thought it was his.
No.
Okay. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Because I think I saw him writing it.
I thought I did too.
Yeah.
On the floor at the
Because I was there all day.
Yeah.
And shot that Lazy Eyes video.
That was for the first NHC show.
No, was it? I thought
First one. That was My Friends. That's the one that Chad played on.
Okay, so that was So I was there. I wasn't shooting that day, but
Yep.
that was at the festival.
Yes.
Yeah, I was with Luca the whole day. I saw him write that.
Yeah.
That's his.
I thought so.
Don't let Dave take fucking credit for it.
But there's some fun stuff in there. I've been saving shit for years and years and years, and with no plan. And then I thought that'd be good up there.
Yeah, I like him.
The one at the very top there. I'm going to do a whole video on them, but that is Bradley Cooper's set list from A Star Is Born, from the scene that I was in.
That's the fucking movie. God damn it. Okay. You posted the other day, like, worst movie ever.
Oh, and you were going to say that one?
I was going to say that one, and I couldn't remember the movie that you were in. Like,
Well, I never talk about it, so
yeah,
I never bring it up.
I thought it was, and I was like, was it? Or is it something else?
Oh, that's
And
funny.
Then I even tried to, like, scroll back on your page a little bit to see if you posted anything about it. I was like, I don't want to say it if I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, that'd be funny.
But I was...
That would be a good one.
Put a Star is Born.
That'd be a good one.
There was just one moment that killed it for me, made it the worst movie
This
ever.
fucking idiot.
Stupid Boston hat
The
thing.
dumb Boston hat guy. Oh man, I didn't know until yesterday that the Oscars were yesterday. Did you watch them or did you go to anything?
I went to a Apple viewing party.
What does that mean?
Apple, the company that makes your phone and computer.
It wasn't not an after party, but like you went somewhere to watch the Oscars.
Yeah, well, because
Smart ass.
they distributed a film, Killers of Flower Moon.
Oh, they did that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an Apple production.
Okay.
So
Someone seen
they
it.
had a viewing party, and then the people who had stuff to do with that film were either there, or the ones that were at the Oscars went to like the Vanity Fair party, the Governor's Ball, the famous ones, and then came there
Okay.
to finish out their night. So I
'Cause
was
you
there
usually go to
all
Oscar
fucking
parties.
night.
How was it?
I mean, it was good, but we were there for a long fucking time, and I don't love the Oscar. Like, I don't love those things, award shows like that. Like, I don't really care.
But you have. To
I don't
be
think
at
they
them.
mean anything, you know. So I'm like, but yeah, I was there because it was like a work affiliation thing, and what was cool about this party was there were a bunch of Osage Indians at the party because they had a lot of films about their culture, and some of them were in the film, some of them were just, you know, friends and family, I'm sure. But they looked awesome just right off the bat.
What were they dressed like?
Aesthetically, because they were wearing like nice clothes, some of them in tux, some of them in suits, but they all had like ties that were beaded and or earrings and their hair in ponytails,
In a
like
tux.
yeah, in a tux, you know, and like so they were Indian through and through, which I thought just aesthetically looked fucking awesome.
That's pretty neat.
And then at one point, they were playing music. There was a DJ. It was catered, the whole 9 yards, and it was at a place up on Sunset Boulevard. And then in the middle of the party, like they just busted into and like for a long time too. And I was just like kind of where it was. We're above the city, like you could see everything on Sunset, from sunset down. And I was just kind of like standing by this pool, this posh, fucking pretentious pool, looking out over this pretentious city. In the middle of that was awesome, kind of like this is an
kinda.
experience I'm never gonna have again. With
Yeah.
real Osage Indians, fucking like hammering it like and into it and dancing around and like we don't give a fuck we're in Hollywood or about your bullshit movies or whatever. We're doing this right now.
Was that planned or did it come out of nowhere? Was
I
it part
think
of like a
that's-
ceremony or they're just like, let's fucking show
no, I
what's
think
up?
that they just when they're feeling it, they do it, you know. And there was like elders there that were leading it, you know, and they had ones like I think they did one on the Oscars. I think they
I don't know.
I think they did. I wasn't really paying attention because there's so many people in the viewing thing. Like everybody does kind of shut up when they cut back to the TVs because when they go for commercial, music will come up. And,
Right.
But you couldn't see. I was just like I wasn't really paying attention. So, so just like what the
That's just a burp that built up in my chest.
but didn't come out.
It was like an inward burp. I burped into my body.
I forgot what you even had asked.
I asked if the dance came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or,
No, I
okay.
think it's just like they were feeling it and they just started it and like, you know, and just watching like the younger kids in, you know, Indians and watching them and like they knew they're chanting specific things that I don't know, you know, but they do. And like you're watching it and I'm like in the middle of the fucking city in this fake fucking pretentious bullshit city that we live in and this is going on and I'm in the middle of it and looking out and it it was like, hair raising moment that was like awesome.
How many were there?
At the time, though, I don't know, 30 maybe 30
Indians?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Did anyone from the movie show up?
Yeah. Pretty much everyone who had anything to do with the movie that was at the show, the actual Oscars, came there eventually.
Did who won stuff? I don't even know who. Did Oppenheimer win Best Picture?
Yes, Oppenheimer pretty much won everything.
Did it? Did Cillian Murphy win Best Actor?
Cillian Murphy won Best Actor. Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor.
Okay.
Emma Stone won Best Actress, which you could feel a hush in the room.
For what movie?
For Poor Things. Because everybody thought Lily Gladstone was going to win from
Who's that?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, okay,
She's
okay.
the lead.
Okay.
And she's riveting. Like, I could watch that fucking woman knit for 5 hours and be glued to the TV.
Okay.
But she didn't win this. She won a bunch of other of the award shows. So everybody kind of thought she was going to.
Is she native?
Yeah.
You would think it would have been a moonwalk into that.
Yeah.
In this country right now.
And I kept saying the same fucking thing that you did.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we're back to normal with
I think,
whites reign supreme.
I think, I honestly think for one of two reasons, like people don't want to look at that, like they don't want to bring it to the forefront of attention as part of our history, or they themselves don't make enough of a stink about it because
They don't campaign.
well,
right?
with women, people of color, so you hear like we're gonna fucking ban these awards shows. We're not gonna show up, and you have to inclusion. But you hear it from them, and they get it. They do eventually, whether it's deserved or not, which is kind of unfair. But you don't hear that, at least in this industry, enough. I mean, you hear the old argument of like, if you're gonna portray Indians, use Indians. You know what I mean? Like. And I thought you guys should have made more of a stink about it. And then our other part of conversations and arguments was, yeah, but do you really want to win like that? And I'm like, I'm sure anyone would want to just win. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? But yeah, I was like a little bit like, the time is ripe. Like you guys should have really fucking hit the gas.
Did you see Poor Things?
I mean? Yeah.
And was she good in it?
Yeah, she's good.
What is that? What movie is that? What is that about?
It's her and, oh God, I can't believe I'm blanking on that fucking actor's name, and I really like him too. Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
And it's like weird period. She's like this. It's hard to explain.
Is it a sexy movie? Is there some like crazy sex
There's
scenes in
crazy
there?
sex
okay,
stuff in
I've
there.
heard of it
Yeah,
for that.
there's
then.
crazy sex stuff in it.
Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You had me at weird period.
If you're a fan of tits.
Okay,
you're not-
I like tits.
No, but then,
Don't watch it?
well, she has no tits.
Oh,
So,
and she shows her non-tits?
yeah, she shows her non.
I need a little something there.
They're not non. They're just little.
Okay.
Not that should make a difference.
Good nips? I mean, you
Yeah.
know. Okay, cool.
Bush,
she
too.
did it.
And
Oh, really?
You know I like the bush.
You know I do too.
Yeah.
Man.
You a bush guy or a bear guy, Nate?
I'm cool with either.
Yep. Well, he's a bear. He's a bear for sure. Yeah, I'm still a Bush guy. We half of our crew on this tour is they work for the band Bush, and our production coordinator Danny has a road case that says Bush on top, and I did this to her case yesterday. You see that? A little full Bush action. Yeah, because I'm a child. We realized on this tour that we're so lucky that we have a career where we can constantly just stay acting like children, almost 24 hours a day, and be considered at the top of our fields.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even have to change a string.
No, it was great. But more awards. What else won? Who won Best Supporting Actress? Do you know?
That one I don't know.
I don't know how I didn't even know that the awards were even yesterday.
Oh, I do remember. I don't know her name. She was in the Paul Giamatti movie. Oh God, I can't remember the fucking name of that movie either.
Cillian Murphy, Davine J.
Yeah.
Randolph?
Yeah,
What the fuck's that?
She was in. what's the movie she was in with
The Holdovers.
The Holdovers? Yeah.
Holdovers.
Which I heard is really good.
Oh yeah. Well, Oppenheimer really went to town, huh?
Yeah.
Did Barbie win anything?
No.
Nothing.
No, but there's who's the guy in it? Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
I always get him and what's the other guy who kind of looks like him?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
them confused
Yep.
all the time.
Yep. I'm sure you're not the only one.
Ryan Gosling did the Ken song, and like Slash came out and Wolf.
Oh, was he in all pink?
Halen. Yeah,
I saw a picture. Okay, okay.
It was actually really funny. Like he did it like
He's a pretty funny dude.
yeah, he did it and he sold it. you know?
Okay.
It was actually funny.
Barbie won nothing.
Yeah, no.
That surprises me. Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
I just saw it like a couple weeks ago.
I would have been fine with that winning Best Picture. Yeah. Did you like
thought it-
Oppenheimer?
I did. I've seen it twice. So I saw it in the theater,
Okay.
and I usually am one of those people who cringes when like, well, you know, this movie was made for the you got to watch it in a theater. Like, fuck you and your cinematic purist fucking like. I could watch something on my phone and see if it's good or not.
Yeah.
You know, that's a movie you should see in the theater
How come?
because the soundtrack and the cutaways, all the B-roll stuff. When it was on the huge screen with the sound system,
Like when it shows you how his brain works, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
That was a cool effect.
It was so much more. There was so much more power behind it in a theater. And the soundtrack, especially the score, I thought, I could be wrong about this, but I thought it was very purposefully revved up throughout the entirety of the picture, the anticipation. Like, I'm not a musician, but like I could feel it starting slower and building and getting even volume louder and louder as the film went on. And you don't get that experience watching it on a TV.
Okay. I get
So I was more riveted the first time I saw it in the theater. And then when I saw it the second time and like now I'm more into the story, now I'm finding issues and flaws. And why didn't they show this? And because I know a lot about the historical event.
Sure.
Like, you're not going to show the fucking bomb and the aftermath. You know what I
So
mean? Like,
I like that.
I did in the theater and then I didn't when I resaw it.
Interesting.
And I
I've only
thought-
seen it once. I only saw it
Yeah.
on my television.
Yeah, and I'm like, Dave and I were having a discussion about it, and he brought up a good point too. Like, so the whole, all the stakes are on whether he's going to get his clearance taken away or not, and like you don't really realize that when you're in the midst of it in the theater, and then you're like, yeah, that's kind of fucking lame. That's really the only thing that's at stake.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So there's I don't know if you know this, but I'm into UFOs and things.
I had no idea.
So the Atomic Energy Commission, is that what it's called? The Atomic,
Yeah, the AEC.
yeah. Nice work.
Like how I just did that.
Nicely done.
The AEC.
You know what we're talking about.
I don't even know if such a thing exists.
And the Department of Energy were the ones that were in control of like the nuclear
The DOE.
secrets. That is true. Yeah, Department of Energy. So initially, the UFO
Initially,
thing.
I was doing initials. Yeah, so go ahead.
Good job. This is gonna be took me a long time to get through this thought.
You know me. I can't not
Of
interrupt.
course, me as in you.
You,
Me, yeah,
you,
of course,
me,
of course. But initially, the UFO thing was tucked into
UFO.
the nuclear program.
NP.
All right. I'm sometimes, usually about 45 minutes in, I'm so bummed that you're here. Without fail every time. I don't know what we're saying. It's a great movie. I'm happy it won.
No, go ahead.
Let's wrap it up.
I won't. I won't interrupt.
I really don't remember where I was.
You were talking about the Atomic Energy Commission.
Oh, you're talking about clearances.
Yeah. Okay.
So the origin of the UFO secrecy thing started.
Sorry. I thought of something to say and I didn't.
Say it.
No,
get
go
it
ahead.
out because you're gonna. Because I know you. So you're still thinking about it.
No.
And as I talk, you're gonna keep thinking about it. But it's still
Okay,
with
go
you.
ahead.
It's still
Atomic
with you.
Energy Clearance. Clearance.
It's good to
Clarence.
be here with you guys.
Roger. Over.
I really don't. I'm so off.
Okay. No.
You've knocked me off my horse. I have no idea where we're going.
Do it.
No, I'm too ashamed.
Clearance.
I don't remember. I swear, I really don't know where I was going with this. You do it to me every time.
Atomic Energy Commission, the clearance. You're talking about clearance.
I love you so much and you make me so upset.
Those are the best kind of
It
relationships.
is. It really is. And I would do the same to you. I really am struggling to get back to where I was trying to go with it.
I won't say a word.
No,
UFOs.
oh, God damn it. UFOs, atomic something or other.
It was about clearance, getting clearance.
So a vast majority of whistleblowers that come forward about the UFO thing or think about it, the biggest reason they don't is they don't want to lose their clearance. It is something that really, really matters to people in government.
Right.
Because even when you retire, you still maintain these clearances. Mm-hmm. So if you worked for the Department of Defense for 30 years,
Right.
until you die, you get briefings and you get classified briefings.
The DOD?
The DOD. It is what it's called. Yes.
I know. Go ahead.
But you get those national security updates for the rest of your life.
Right.
And just having that
Pulled away from you.
It's like having, an all access pass if you're on tour. If you don't have that, you feel like a loser.
Right.
These guys, they work so hard they want to have all the secrets. And it's like this hoarding of secrets.
Right.
So that's what the clearance is.
Right. So they should have really hammered that fact a little more, I think. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Because when you lose clearance too, it also takes away your the way you're viewed by others, your legitimacy or something.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you look like a dolt if you lose your clearances. Like you did something really wrong. So it is it's a point of big embarrassment when these guys lose it.
Right.
But I do remember it now being a big part of the movie. That was his biggest.
That was
right.
that was like what the whole
They're hanging over his head.
it wasn't a trial really. He wasn't accused of anything.
Was it just a deposition? Is that what it was?
It was pretty much. It was kind of.
Was it for Congress? I forget what it was for.
Yeah, it was it was hearings, and what weighed in the balance was his clearance, whether it was going to get taken away or not.
Mm-hmm. And you don't like that they didn't show the bomb. I mean, spoiler alert, but it's just won Best Picture. But they don't show Hiroshima or Nagasaki in the film.
It wasn't even not showing the actual bomb, the explosion. I mean, they show the test and how that goes. It was more of
At the Trinity site.
the aftermath, or I guess they did talk a lot about weighing the consequence, but they didn't really show any consequence.
Maybe because they know that we all know.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Was it 300,000? 300,000 dead?
Something like that. And this is something that's subjective too. Like it's not, I think they made a bad choice or whatever. I would have liked to see a little more of that. I think the Japanese.
You needed
should
more
make-
melted Japanese people to
No,
enjoy
I
the
think
film.
they should make their own film.
Called Nuclear Shadow?
Of a rebuttal of Oppenheimer. You know what I mean?
What's their angle?
Their angle
That didn't happen.
You guys are fucking making movies and handing out awards, and look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was a big protest in Japan about the movie.
I don't know why. I mean, if you watch the movie,
his-
it doesn't make it feel like the bomb was triumphant. I mean, it shows that it's a real moral
No,
push and pull, right?
well, I think the biggest takeaway from the film too is that he completely changed the world forever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We live in an age. There's an age before he created this thing and after. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the film was a great film.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think it was as great as I thought the second time I saw it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. What was
The
that?
TV turning off. Do you think, what is your moral stance on the bomb? Do you think it was the right thing to do? Overkill? Somewhere in the middle? What are your thoughts? It's a tough one. Yeah. Because it ended up working. It did end the war.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's an inevitability just with human beings and with technology and progress. It's an inevitability that people are going to build bigger and better weapons. You know what I mean? So if you constrict your thinking to that time period and it ended the war and stuff like that, like, yeah, you could say, oh, I'm for that. But, or if someone else had invented it first, you know what I mean? If someone beat him to the punch or us to the punch in that sense, it's a tough question. There's a lot of fucking things that factor in, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. I wasn't even fucking born. What the fuck do I care?
True. It's very true. Can you imagine
There's always that angle too.
being the person that approves that, though? Got to be tough. Was it Truman that did that? Was that Truman or Eisenhower? Truman, right?
No.
Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Oppenheimer.
Look it up.
Pee Wee Herman.
Oppenheimer. They're coming up with another version of it too, where
Here it comes.
the bomb is filled with a bunch of one-liners. It's called Weisenheimer.
Fucking stupid idiot. I love it.
Dad jokes. Come on.
So good. So Russia actually tested the biggest nuclear bomb. Fat Man and Little Boy
Yeah.
were Little Boy was 15 kilotons.
Was that your guys' tour names?
He's Fat Man. I was Little Boy for my penis.
I thought it was the other way around.
No. Thanks. Appreciate that. And Little Boy was 15 kilotons. Fat Man was 21 kilotons. Russia in 1961 tested a bomb called the Tsar Bomba. That was 50,000 kilotons. So I don't know what the math is, but if Fat Man is the one that dropped in Nagasaki, 21 kilotons. Russia tested a 50,000 kiloton bomb in the middle of the ocean. And when the pilot dropped it, it was like 50-50 that the pilot was going to live.
Yeah.
And the thing was like, drop it and then just like get as fast as you can out of there. And when it exploded, it almost knocked him out of the air. And he was like miles away at that point. Mm-hmm. And the mushroom cloud was like 6 miles high.
And they don't have footage of that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they could film it. I was in the middle of the ocean, but I mean that's like a world ender if it hit land.
Just a guy in a dinghy with a little camera.
Got it. It's just crazy. I also can't believe we haven't had another nuclear attack since the 40s.
Well, we can't.
Well, yeah, it's mutually assured destruction.
Yeah, that's the
But I still can't
that's
believe
the
it's
whole
happened.
premise of war games.
Right. But I still can't believe it hasn't happened.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, but it's going to take some little small under the radar country that we're not watching. The world at large is not watching.
I think so.
That's going to, because how are you going to even be able to do it? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I mean, the surveillance on both sides is so strong that you'll know it's coming well before it's coming.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, like to the point where we're like, they're building new. We won't even allow people to build them, or so we say. You know what I mean? So, based on that theory of it will be mutual destruction, because as soon as someone sets one off, the retaliation is just going to level everything.
I'm so scared.
You know, unless it's like, if you believe in conspiracy theories and you're like, well, there's a 1% out there that's going to go underground and have it all ready to survive this thing and flatten everybody else. And there's going to be 10 people fucking eating at a table in the end. You know what I mean?
Could be. It's terrifying. That's really terrifying. Do you remember when those mercenaries recently were like moving into Russia, like towards Moscow to like take Putin out? You remember that a while ago?
Vaguely.
That's when I was most scared. I thought like if Putin was backed into a corner, he's the guy that would push the button if he thought it was the end, right?
Yeah, I mean, even that's tough to say. If someone, you know, that I'm losing, so I'm going to just throw the chessboard over type of mentality. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't want to find out.
Well,
we're going to. What?
Well, not that we're going to, but like, yeah, I bet you don't want to find out.
No, hell no.
You know,
God damn.
I don't think anybody wants to find out, you know.
Man. Before we get out of here, you stumbled upon some new wrestling shows I want to hear about.
Oh yeah,
You're going back. You're in a new current wrestling rabbit hole, and I want to join you in it.
All right, so I think it's on. One of them's on Vice. There's a bunch that they do with Vice, and then I think the A&E might be another station where there's WWE Rivals. Then there's biography series. It's all legends. And there's a show that The Rock does. I know they did one season. I hope they come back with another season called Tales from the Territories, where it's like literally
around the country,
roundtable discussion of wrestlers, promoters, whoever. That it'll be like 5 guys that will tell crazy stories from the territories before Vince McMahon made it a conglomerate and just wiped everybody out of the business when cable came.
Yeah.
And
I remember
there was like a short period where, as a kid, that I was super into wrestling. We would go to Madison Square Garden and see the matches. Like, this is way before like the Hulk Hogan era, even. When I was in like junior high, like 13, 12.
And who were the guys?
13.
Who was involved then?
It was like Andre the Giant and Bob Backlund and Rocky Johnson and Tony Junkyard Dog and people like that. And like Hulk Hogan was around, but this was like before the Hulkamania
of like 87 when he became.
Yeah,
Mike
I was already
Tyson.
too old by then. So this is like from like 12 to like 14, 15 years old where I was like into it and would go and watch at Madison Square Garden. And some of these episodes are about that era, and that's great because it's nostalgic for me. But then I started watching the ones like about Stone Cold Steve Austin, like people who I just never watched. I was an adult.
You're out by then.
Yeah, I was way out by then.
The magic was gone.
And you start watching these rivalries, and they really get in depth, and they're smart enough to really pull behind the curtain now and say like, we came up with this story and like all the terms that the wrestlers use and how fucking abusive they were to their bodies and the drinking and the pills they were taking. So you start watching it on a human level, like almost like an athlete story, where you watch a documentary about some football player that you never even heard of that ended up drunk or lost all his money or whatever, and you're just riveted by the story.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with these. So it's like bringing me back into wrestling of wrestlers that I've never even heard of a couple of these people. And I'm like, oh, there's another one. Like I'm recording everything that there is. Yeah.
Because the territories, I didn't know until the Andre doc that like he would travel around the country and have different names depending on what part of the country he was in.
Yeah, and they were all...
So he wasn't always Andre the Giant. He would be like Terry the Big Guy or some shit.
If you give me a second, I'll remember.
Please.
One of the big names that he used to be. I could see there's a poster that's a famous poster where he's not on.
You should find it.
Yeah, I should.
Find an old non-Andre poster.
But I saw him wrestle live at Madison Square Garden.
I never saw Andre.
Yeah.
I saw
see him.
I saw Hulk. I saw Macho Man Randy Savage. Saw Junkyard Dog. Saw Jim Duggan.
I saw one of the first cage matches ever.
Oh, no shit.
Superfly Snuka.
Yeah.
Jumped off. It was the first time anybody had jumped off the top.
I still don't know how they do that.
And I was
it's
at
like
the
3
match.
stories.
It's like you look it up on YouTube. It's like a famous clip. And I was like, I was fucking
there
at that show when I was like
That's like
13.
seeing Tony Hawk's 900.
Yeah.
In a way.
But
I missed the magic of wrestling as a kid.
But when I'll find myself laughing out loud. Like they're talking storylines and okay, well, there has to be a return. Like that's the setting up the next match and the lengths they're going to make people buy into it. Like the Undertaker and like he's dead and we're gonna have him do lightning and this and that. And I'm like, again, I was well out by then. I'm watching it now and it's like I start laughing because I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a little kid again.
Like I get why, like Billy Corgan, he owns like as a network or wrestling, what's it called? A wrestling league or something. And he's been able to hold on to that like lifelong passion for the story. But I lost it when I was like, realized it was all bullshit. And it's just like male soap operas.
There was a good one, like the Rivals show between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper, who he was one of my favorites.
Hot Rod.
And he talked about how like I really didn't like him. Like I didn't like what he stood for. I didn't like.
Oh, in real life, like when the
real
cameras
life,
are off, you didn't care
yeah.
for him.
And then
a lot of times they turn the cameras off, they're hugging and going and drinking together.
And a lot of times they're also not. Like, and you learn the real stories, because that's the cool thing too. Is like I said, you're getting a real peek now, and like they're smart enough to know this facade that we keep trying to say it's real. Like that's done.
Yeah.
Let's entertain by really telling the real stories behind it, and like, you know, the one guy jumps off of a thing and they show it 15 fucking times from different angles. He's like, yeah, that's where I had to have my back fused in 16 places. And you realize like these guys fucked themselves up to entertain. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when, you might have been out by this point, but when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had his trachea crushed?
Yeah.
Who did that?
I don't remember who that was.
Who was it Bret Hart or someone? Someone like ripped the bell, took the bell from the judges,
Right.
and went off the top rope and hit Ricky Steamboat right in the throat.
Yeah. Well, you see, they talk a lot about that too, like how they're communicating in the ring, because it's
Macho Man did it.
right. It's not. It's planned. The outcome is planned, but a lot of the stuff that's going on inside, they're communicating with each other.
Yeah. When you see like the double tap, when they grab a guy, double tap, that
right.
means something, or
Yeah. And sometimes they're like, yeah, I fucking threw that punch and I blasted him in the fucking face. Like I didn't mean to, but I did. Like, you know, or another wrestler's like, let's make it look as real as possible, you know, or the blood, like the capsules that they didn't do any of that shit. The old school guys
razors,
take razors and pre-slice their heads before matches. Like, and some of these old guys, you see them in the interviews now, the ones that are still alive, and their fucking head is just all scar tissue.
all scars. Yeah.
And they show like the training camps where like they go to train you how to do this shit, and they like fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's why I love like every 3, 4, 5 years, I'll go down the dead wrestler rabbit hole, because so many of them died from heart attacks or suicide. That's it.
Yeah.
From steroid use or just like from
A lot of these biographies like end up that way.
Yep.
You know,
We've talked about this before, like Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
One of the best ever, and the resurrection of Jake the Snake, and all that shit is so
There's
good.
like 5 on that guy.
Were you ever into wrestling? Or you miss it?
Not really.
They
Like
show-
a little bit, but not really.
Oh, so great.
They show the one where Jake the Snake pulled out the Cobra and with Randy Macho Man.
Yeah.
And
he was
again,
terrified.
I was out of wrestling by then. So like I didn't even know that this had happened. But basically, if you're not a fan, Jake the Snake Roberts would have a burlap sack. And he'd beat up his opponent, and then he'd pull a snake out and put
Python.
It was usually a python. Well,
Named Sid, right?
Yeah. And then he had a cobra at one point. And they're talking about Macho Man's dead now.
Yeah.
So they're talking about his reaction backstage before the match, but they're all doing his voice. and Jake does his voice perfectly. And he's like, he said he was really paranoid that
I don't want to get bit by the snake.
Right, but he was like paranoid that someone was trying to kill him. Like he was really paranoid that
Like steroid
there's gonna-
paranoia.
Yeah. That there's gonna be like someone was out for him. And he's like, so here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna
so
he's
good.
like, you're gonna let that thing bite you first,
And then they can come at
and he's
me.
like, well, when? He's like, right here and right now. And he's like, so I let it bite me.
And the
Yeah.
slow point and the whole,
Yeah. So there's a great biography about him.
Oh, I got to see that.
One of those legend series.
He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was already kind of out. I just knew him from the Slim Jim commercials.
There was a time, do you remember, one time, we just talked about this the other day, but like at one time he hit his woman, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
He hit her.
They talk about that.
So right after he hit her is when I went to Boston Garden to see wrestling, and Macho Man was wrestling, and I made a sign that I was very proud of because he hit her, and I think Hogan called him out and said, like, you don't hit women. I'm like, I'm gonna take care of you.
Right.
And I made a poster that said, "You beat the woman, now meet the man." I was 10. I was so proud of that.
If
one.
you had that still, I would
Oh,
say
I
frame
wish.
it and put.
My Uncle David, who died, he's the one that brought me to it and helped me make the sign. But you beat the woman, now meet the man.
But all that stuff, the Randy Macho Man one's really good, that biography, because there's a lot of like Hulk Hogan talking in it because they were friends.
Yeah.
And they
Terry Bollea?
They talk,
That's Hulk Hogan's real name. Terry Bollea.
He talks about his paranoia and how what's the woman's name again? Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth.
They split up, but were still together in the storyline. And like how there were times where Hulk Hogan would have to go over there and like, dude, brother, you got it, and he'd be like, I know she's doing stuff. Like, it would just, but the way they tell the
Macho
fucking
Man.
stories,
So good.
the way they tell the stories, some of the shit's like, holy shit.
Wrestlers, when they get together, must have the best like war stories. Like soldiers.
Well, that's
have.
why the Tale of the Territories is real good, because it's like 5 old guys talking about like, yeah, remember that time that so-and-so stabbed you in the bar in the arm, and then we had the match, and then the guy was waiting with the gun out in the thing, and he shot all the tires out in the car. It's like that kind of shit.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot fucking wait.
They're a good series to watch for sure.
Well, let's wrap this up so I can get started with that.
I see. Let's wrap this up.
I gotta go watch some television with my friends. That's a good Macho Man.
That's the thing too. We'll end on this. That's the other thing too that you'll like about this. I mean, you're younger than me, so maybe you were a little.
We had some
past me.
crossover characters though.
Yeah, some crossover characters, but the ones that came way later, like Shawn Michaels, is that his name?
Yeah.
He was like way later.
He's the one that killed his family, right?
That's Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. That's a cool move.
And a couple of the other guys that were way like late 90s. Like I was fucking shooting heroin at this point.
Well, that's when Stone Cold started and like
Okay, so
Mankind.
That would be like my
Mankind and stuff like that.
What'd you say?
That would be like my era.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
A little bit I watched.
Because you're
was,
10
like,
years.
Stone Cold.
You're 10 years over me. I'm 10 years over him. So
Right.
we got 3 generations of wrestling.
Right.
Here.
So that's my point. Is you start watching these ones about these guys that I had never even heard their name before I put the special on, and like I'm into them now. Like now, you know what I mean?
love it.
Like, oh, this guy's fucking awesome. I think I texted you when you were on tour. Like, have you seen the Mankind one? Were you ever into Mankind? Or
I was
whatever?
out right before him.
I watched
know
the
who he
whole
is.
biography on him.
Mick Foley.
On Mick Foley. And he had like apparently like 3 different characters that were very famous. And I'm watching all the storylines and I'm like, this is like fucking Shakespearean. This guy, like with all these, and the lengths that this nut would go to, cutting his ear off and like throwing tacks all over the thing. And I'm like, holy shit.
Committed.
Yeah.
Very committed. Yeah. Cool. Todd, thank you for coming in. Throb, good to see you again. Thanks for saving the day with the equipment. I'll probably keep it until JetBlue finds my fucking shit.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.